Welcome to Tech Gumbo here on Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Baton Rouge's local talk and information leader. Brought to you by Gulf South Technology Solutions. You can reach us on the phone.
225-216-2169.
Or on the web.
At gulfsouthtech.com.
Gulf South Tech for all your business, computer, network, and IT needs. At Gulf South Tech, we give you the right solution.
Right response.
Right now. I'm Haggai Davis, along with
James Moak.
And we're your host here on Tech Gumbo. Ready for another week there, James?
Man, I'm ready. Lots of technology stuff to talk about, and as usual, we're offering free stuff. People like free stuff.
Absolutely. If you'd like a free network assessment for your business computer network, give us a call or come to the website at gulfsouthtech.com/risk and register. For everybody who registers for a free network assessment, we will give you a 1-year subscription to Microsoft Office 365, which has 5 full copies of Office Professional, and that's Office 2016.
The latest and greatest version.
Absolutely.
Now that it's 2016, it actually came out last fall.
Yeah.
But, we've been using it for quite some time, and we still haven't found all the bells and whistles, so it's exciting.
It really is. I like Office 2016. It does exactly what I like and what I need. So let's jump into the news and updates. Let's start off with iPad. If you've got an iPad out there or an iPhone, you need to run the updates. Security researchers have revealed it's possible to brick an iPad wirelessly, exploiting it using the 11-1970 bug.
Yep. So it's as we've talked about on several occasions, the iOS operating system is not as secure as it once was, but like Microsoft and other Google and other companies, they're offering updates to patch these things, and you need to take advantage of it.
That's right. So if you're not running the current version 9.3.1 version of the operating system on your iPad or on your iPhone, you need to go out and do that, because the 9.3.1 is the only version immune to the denial of service vulnerability. That if somebody just is on the same Wi-Fi network in a public Wi-Fi system that you happen to be on, they can actually grab your phone and turn it into a brick for you.
Or your iPhone, or your iPad, or any of those iOS devices, mini iPad mini, whatever they call the different sizes of it.
Yeah, all of them. So don't delay out there. Don't say, I'll get around to that, and you're still running 8.0 or something like that. It's time to upgrade keep your iOS up to date, because that's what keeps you secure.
Yep, you could have instead of Patch Tuesday that we have with Microsoft, you could have Update Saturday at the house. You update all your iOS devices and just knock it all out at one time. Order some pizza, watch some TV.
Yep.
And upgrade all your all your technology devices.
Yes, and just let that you're going to crush the Wi-Fi there for a little while you're doing it, but it's good and get it out of the way. The next thing we want to talk about, Microsoft ended support for another one of their products, the SQL Server 2005. This past Tuesday was the end of support. So if you're still running the SQL 2005, you're in trouble.
Yep, and if you don't know whether you're running it or not, give us a call, send us an email. Visit our website. We'll be glad to take a look at the network for you and identify what version of SQL Server, which SQL is SQL Server is Microsoft's database software that a lot of businesses have running, and may even have an older version of, I'm trying to think the earlier versions of SQL, that kind of a lighter version, if SQL Express is what it was called. And so they may even have that. But if you're not sure what you have, let us know. We'll be glad to come out and take a look at it for you, and make plans to get you migrated off of it onto the latest and greatest version.
And unfortunately, upgrading the SQL Server is not typically a matter of just plugging in a new version. Now, sometimes the apps that run on this database were designed specifically for that particular database that you're using. So you have to be real careful. You just go run out and buy SQL 2016 and slap it on and think that software is going to run automatically. you could be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, it definitely may or may not upgrade the database versions. And if it doesn't, and it causes some type of corruption with them, and you haven't made a backup of those SQL databases before you install the latest version, then you might really be calling us.
Yeah, you be careful anytime you're upgrading anything, especially when it comes to end of life support. And Microsoft's going to continue to do these things. Windows Vista, its end of support's coming up in a couple of years. Not that anybody in the world still uses Vista, but there are actually companies and businesses who still use Microsoft Vista or Windows Vista, and so just be prepared. It's going to happen.
Yep, and there's options available. Whether you look at SQL Server 2014 on premise, or if it's time for you to look at Azure SQL database. So there's options there that we can explore with you to if you don't want it on premise anymore, then let's look at Azure SQL. Putting it in the cloud.
That's right. Go to the cloud. It's a great way of getting that up to date hardware, getting that up to date software, without all the expense of buying a whole new server. So that's a good thing. Not so good thing is the ransomware that's out there.
Yeah, we're hearing more and more about it. We haven't had too many clients affected by it, but you do hear about it in the news. It's a lot of healthcare information and a lot of private information, credit card numbers, IDs and things of that nature that have become very valuable on the internet to the black market.
There was a hospital in Maryland last week that got nailed with a ransomware, the crypto-ransomware, whichever one of the cryptos it was specifically that hit it. But it's the MedStar Hospital network over there, and there's 10 hospitals that are underneath this thing, and it went system-wide. There were doctors that had to treat patients for days that had no computer records of everything, and all their patient records are in electronic medical records. Mm-hmm. So be very careful. We're going to talk in the next segment a little bit about some ways to help protect your business from things like this. But in the meantime, you just got to be ultra careful of the things that you're looking at and clicking on when you're out there.
Yeah, whether it's in whether it's on Facebook or on an internet website, or if it's in an email attachment.
That's right.
So, we'll cover a lot of that.
Even going to certain websites can really do damage. So Microsoft has broadened their test of the Windows 10 Enterprise Data Protection.
Yeah, this is apparently some new encryption technology that they're using to encrypt the files, within the operating system and
within the Windows 10 operating system.
Right, within the Windows 10 operating system. Whereas before, I think with BitLocker, they were doing the data that you put on it. And apparently, this is kind of an extension of that. That's doing the entire drive, if you will, operating system and all.
Yeah, according to the roadmap in the in public preview section, it's going to be part of all variants of Windows 10 that run on PCs, tablets, handheld devices. You're going to be able to have apps that use the enterprise data protections, and it's expected to come out when Microsoft rolls out their anniversary update this summer, and it's going to allow you to restrict which apps can be used for work and which ones are for personal use on that bring your own device to thing to work with you. So if you don't want some of your employees to have specific information on a personal computer, you can restrict that with this. So, that'll be a fun one to come out.
And the Windows insiders are the guys that they get the ability to test it, and that's kind of what's going on now. That's the phase that it's in.
Well, that computer I have at home is a Windows Insider.
Oh, there you go. See, we got an insider right here with us, folks.
Yeah, I had Windows 10 for about 10 months before it ever came out on the street on that one computer, because it's a disposable computer. When I got to wipe the drive and start over, it's not a big deal. It doesn't affect anybody else. And then also Microsoft is going to be shipping a Windows 10 upgrade component. Basically, they're calling it the current branch for business. This allows you to, if you're a corporate entity and you don't want just every update or any of the big updates coming out to just go out automatically, it'll hold on to this in what's called their current branch for business.
Yep, it'll make it easier to manage those updates within corporate networks and whatnot.
Yeah, so look for that. That's coming out here with some of the newer versions. I think the current branch is supposed to roll out in the fall sometime, so be on the lookout for that. So as a reminder, if you've missed any of the segments and you'd like to hear a segment, any of these segments again, you can always go to techgumbo.net. We have every segment for every show we've ever done for your listening pleasure at your convenience. Up next, we're going to talk about sandbox technology. We'll be right back here on Tech Gumbo on Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, Baton Rouge's local talk and information leader.